Hi, it's Bob. We're out in the shed ready for some mad scientist grip, as in get a grip. Basic poplar wood from the Big Orange Box store. Tools. And this all came about from doing a wedding video at a cabin, which seems to happen a lot here in the Smokies. And the video was to take place out on the balcony with beautiful view. And the problem always is where to put a camera. When you have a 4 or 5 foot wide balcony, not a lot of room. Definitely not room for tripods. Lucky if you get one around the corner or something. And so this inspired me to create a camera platform that could be clamped to the ceiling or deck above or deck rail. And of course, nothing like that seems to exist where you can just order it from Amazon or Adorama or B&H. So had to create it. So went to the good old Home Depot and was looking around at clamps and found this nifty ratchet clamp, which seems to have a great job of grabbing onto what would be a ceiling joist. Put a lot of pressure on it and it grabs more than good enough to hang something from it or hang up or from a rail this way. And then it has some nifty holes here that I was able to do something with. So wait for part 2 in just a few seconds and I'll start going over the parts and fabricating parts and finding all the right bolts, nuts, washers, and all that stuff. Because I'm currently using the aforementioned clamp in my shed to my loft, clamped on, holding the camera. So it definitely works. Be back in just a moment, which is like now. Alright, now we're behind the camera to look at parts. So again, I picked up a piece of poplar from Home Depot, and that's a 1/2 inch by 1.5 inch by 36 inch hoo-ha, and a 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch by 36 inch piece of poplar. They were a few bucks a piece. And of course, one needs 1/4 bolts, nuts, washers. I have quite the collection these days, but you never have the right one, and I wanted a wing nut type 1/4. So, what it looks like together, I haven't painted it yet, but basically it looks like this. And I put a tripod head mount from some broken piece of will you focus where I want you, camera? Isn't that just the case? There we go. The tripod head I got off of another clamp I had that the clamp broke. That's also part of what got me going on this. And I have a few other heads on the way from Amazon to try on here. And that'll probably be a part 2 down the road. And of course, the way this works, I'll give the overview. Up, and it's bolted to clamp. But then, and this is a nice ratchet clamp, so click, off it goes. And of course it can, sorry about that shaky. And of course it could clamp onto horizontal going down, or of course horizontal going up. So this is on a table or it can go up this way, but I really designed it to hang from a ceiling joist, such as, do it real good so it holds down. I do have it where it's telescoopable, so it does have some up-downness. And of course, the lock in place with wing nuts. And I made this so that this can rotate. And of course, I made this where it is free swingable. And of course, a wing nut to tight, so it kind of can go wherever you need. And get the camera up on there. There you go. The hardest part about this whole thing is making this channel for the bolts to slide in, which I used a nifty tool from Ryobi. That's, what do they even call this thing? Now, that's a little mini vertical cutter, and its only problem is it goes through the wood like butter, and it's almost hard to control. Even making a jig, it so much wants to eat up wood. But that's another story right there. I'll let woodworkers laugh at me because I'm a photographer, not a woodworker. But there we go, and I think all we got to do is paint it black and make a second one. So there you go. Getting a grip where you want it. It's always the challenge of get a camera hanging somewhere where it needs to be. Never convenient, but here you go. When you don't have floor space to work and put a tripod, you can clamp it somewhere, you got it. So we'll call this Jed Clamp It. Alright, I want to show you the hard part using this vertical drill, speed saw, whatever they call it. I'll put a link to it down below because I do love this thing. It's fun. It's just so powerful, it's hard to use. And again, I'm using the grip clamp to my ceiling joist, and I kind of had to make a little jig here to be able to go in a straight line and make this groove that and channel that the bolts can go in on the telescopic part. So let's adjust it so you can see me hopefully cut this correctly. And see, I'm just adjusting. So now it's pointed down at the jig where I've got the piece of stock, 2 holes already drilled for start-stop position, and I basically screwed a couple of pieces of wood to the bench top so nothing moves. And I've got this set up with the right offset for the saw. So in theory, I should just have to go right down and make a cut. So here goes some noise, and hopefully I get it right. Almost messed up there. Maybe a bit off in the middle bit here. And we're just going to take it out, flip it around, and cut the other side. I just broke my bit, which does seem to happen with this thing quite a lot. But anyway, you get the idea. Oh, we got everything painted. Of course, didn't want to bore you watching paint dry. Alright, here we go for assembly. All the parts are here, painted black. Still a little tacky, even though overnight dried, but whatever. So here we go.